So the Alfa Romeo Milano interior has leaked in these 3D images. Well, allegedly. Let's talk about this. What's good, guys? Welcome back to Ron's Rise. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video where if you've been waiting to see what the 2024 Alfa Romeo Milano interior will look like, well, this is the cockpit of the brand's smallest model that is full of familiar elements and some not so much. These have been leaked, and I want to quote that because there's no source so far, but this is supposed to be via a patent that Alfa Romeo has filed with these 3D images making their way on the web in the past 24 hours. Now, the Italians are really getting ready for one of three major premieres this year. Obviously, you just had the Lancia Ypsilon, which has already been seeing the light of day. The successor to the Panda will debut on July 11th. And in turn, the Alfa Romeo Milano will hit the roads in April. And keep in mind, the Milano is a urban crossover and is related to the Jeep Avenger and the Fiat 600e. So you might see some of those elements carry over to this interior that we're seeing today. Now, the new Alfa Romeo will leave the factory in Poland and is almost ready for its premiere. And the camouflage examples have already been teased by Alfa Romeo themselves. And it shouldn't come as a surprise that the cockpit draws from elements of the Stellantis group, mainly from the former PSA. There's definitely some Peugeot influence here. But again, it's not a surprise. The ECMP platform is found in this model and it comes directly from the Peugeot E2008. So to reduce costs, you have to have a number of part sharing, and elements were probably transplanted from these French cars. Now, this includes, among others, like the door handles, levers, and a large part of the switches. The multimedia system also comes from the French side of the Stellantis group, but the Uconnect system that's found in most Stellantis products will probably make its way in here as well. Not a bad thing. Now, it's worth noting the Alfa Romeos will currently offer 3 different systems, which is probably why you're seeing a different setup for each dashboard here. Now let's talk about these patented photos because they reveal a lot. The multimedia screen was moved below the air vents. That's the biggest difference compared to the Jeep Avenger and the Fiat 600e. You also have physical switches that are responsible for controlling the air conditioning that have been retained. Now, it's also worth noting that the round air vents in which the brand logo is hidden is a really neat detail that catches the eye. That serpent is right there front and center, and this was some known news that we heard late last year that would be showing up in this model, so this actually may seem to be the real thing because this confirms it. Now, the Alfa Romeo Milano will gain a 3-spoke steering wheel with a characteristic triangular element at the bottom. Now, this is a reference not only to the Scudetto, but also to a sharper style of this model. This one will be a far cry from the Giulia and Stelvio though, because there's no start-stop button on the actual steering wheel. It's also worth paying attention to the central tunnel here, where there are switches shared with Peugeot and Citroën. Now, there's several individual elements that have been added, including an exposed car switch, but I don't think I see a famous Alfa Romeo DNA switch, but there's a typical driving mode button there. Now, we know the DNA switch is Alfa Romeo's drive mode selector, dynamic, natural, and advanced efficiency. So not sure if Alfa Romeo will implement the DNA characteristics a different way. We'll have to wait and see. Now the production line almost ready because the Alfa Romeo crossover is debuting in April, and it will have a 1.2 liter PureTech engine, MHEV versions, 100 and 136 horsepower, as well as an electric drive with a power of 156 horses with a 54 kilowatt battery. Now, if there was ever a quadrifolio version based on the Perfo ECMP platform, it will have the same design as the Bar 600e where it offers 240 horses, but that's a far cry for in the future. We know so far, this is the interior, this is what we've seen so far. For the most part, it seems pretty standard, seems pretty simple. I want to see what Alfa Romeo can do with this, but drop those comments down below. What do you guys think about the interior of the Milano so far? And what did I miss? What are some other kind of Easter eggs and different details that you guys have seen that I didn't mention today? Drop those comments down below. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And we will see you guys in the next Ron's Rise video. Peace.